Well, it didn't take long for the hashtag revert turbo building trend to really get under the skin of Epic Games, and their asinine explanation for doing so being to help players with higher ping and punish players that turtle more often, when everybody knows that the real reason was to help out the same window lickers that the developers were thinking about when they put the Brute into the game in the first place, then refused to nerf it only to do so weeks later and then turn around and remove the turbo building skill aspect of the game. Coincidence? I think not. Anyways, after people called them out on their bullshit, the turbo build delay was then reverted back to pre-10.20 patch levels at 0.05%. However, to actually attack the problem that they were trying to solve, the single wall placement at the same place as a recently destroyed piece, now it takes 0.15 seconds with a coin flip to determine a winner and a tie instead of ping, which randomness is also an idiotic way to punish someone for actually paying for good internet or, not moronically, playing on Wi-Fi. But at least this is better than flattening the skill gap overall for everybody. If you would have watched my last Fortnite news video, then it would have also been obvious as to why there was a rift beacon in Fatal Fields, but the cat's out of the bag now with the latest content update. The floating island from Season 6 returns, but this time with not only Kevin the Cube underneath, but the motel point of interest atop instead of the house in the middle of Loot Lake. The floating island is currently near Fatal Fields and can be reached from the vortex below. However, it's assumed that it will also be moving around the map, similar to how it traversed between all of the rune zones in Season 5, but it's not yet clear what path it will actually take. The content update also added the Zapper trap, which isn't for the trap slot as one might expect, but instead a rare throwable item in stacks of 2 at a max stack of 4 that can be tossed against a vertical wall, or it will make a vertical wall if it hits the terrain instead, if your aim is like Elmer Fudd, and will shock enemy players that are on either side of the wall for 50 damage with a 2-second cooldown before firing a subsequent time. Even though that isn't lethal damage most of the time, it will certainly make people evacuate their builds like Hurricane Dorian. Too soon? However, due to a bug where players will be forcefully kicked from matches, Epic has disabled the sole piece of content that comes along with said update, although when I just checked Twitter before making this video, I do see that they finally did re-enable them again. The only other notable bug fix was Epic removing the overheat sound from the minigun, because if you can't fix the audio bug, might as well just remove it altogether, right? That's the philosophy that Epic seems to employ with broken shit. Just get rid of it. And that's why there's so much fucking trash in the ocean, people. Although we don't know exactly where the next rift zone will be, and despite the fact that there are 2 new beacons, both are in Dusty Depot, which is where the rift beacons originate before being moved on to their final destination. The Pandora rift zone is still live until September the 10th, so get those challenges done before then. In case you don't know how to complete them, the challenges are the following: eliminating 3 opponents in Pandora, opening 7 of those asset swap chests, gaining 500 shield, which just means heading into the location 5 different times, collecting 10 pieces of cash from chests or killed enemies to net you the Psycho Spray, searching 3 different vault symbols, of which there are 5 located at the spots on the map shown on screen, for the Vault Hunter banner, and finding Claptrap's missing eye at location 1, and then returning it to him on the way out of Pandora at location 2 for the reward of a bunny spray. Complete all of the challenges, you can get the Mayhem wrap that almost looks as ugly as the art style for the game that Epic is collaborating with. Speaking of challenges, even though they don't go live until Thursday, both the free and paid ones have also been leaked. The free ones are called The Return and are 1 sniper rifle elimination, outlasting 150 opponents in solos or duos mode, which is much better than doing those top X finishes. Dealing 500 damage with scoped weapons, which is similar to a task from a previous week with 2 eliminations with scoped weapons. Searching 7 ammo boxes at Fatal Fields if you want to check out the new spot, or a Lonely Lodge if you'd rather be by yourself, using 2 different throwable items in the same match, just in time for the Zapper trap to actually be enabled. Visiting Loot Lake and Sunny Steps in the same match, which you should do the former and use the rift to get to the latter, and finally landing on top of a floating island and a meteor. Completing 3 of these challenges will grant you this loading screen here, which is the modern version of the beginning part of the Wizard of Oz, with a floating island causing the destruction of a farmhouse instead of a tornado, because it's already been redone to death with Twister. The hidden battle star can be spotted in the loading screen itself at the end of the pier, so head to that area in Fatal Fields in order to collect the reward. The Battle Pass mission list, called Boogie Down after Epic tried to cover up how shitty its security is by giving out a free emote for 2-factor authentication, has the following challenges: hitting 2 opponents with a boogie bomb, dancing in front of a bat statue at the northwest part of Haunted Hills, and it's gold so you can't miss it unless you're a dumb shit, in a way above ground pool on the floating island with the empty motel pool, and on a seat for giants, which is a wooden structure between Shifty Shafts and Happy Hamlet, getting an elimination with a shotgun, assault rifle, and SMG, which are the only weapons you should be using in every match anyways, traveling 100 meters while dancing, which I erroneously thought would be doable on a drift board, but you'll actually need a traversal type emote and a remote location so you don't get shot while doing so, visiting an oversized piano, which is east of Lonely Lodge, destroying 3 no dancing signs, of which there are 7 found at the locations on the map shown on screen, screen, and dancing in a brute in 3 different matches because Epic put so much effort into that animation, so might as well reap the rewards for it. Complete all of these to prestige the mission and crank up the difficulty with damaging 2 opponents affected by a boogie bomb, doing that bust a move challenge with the 3 different locations in a single match instead of at your own pace, getting an elimination with a sniper rifle, pistol, and explosive weapon, which are items you normally don't take, dancing with 1 other player to raise a disco ball and an icy airplane hanger in Frosty Flights, which isn't easy if you're hashtag forever alone, playing the sheet music at an oversized piano at the same location before east of Lonely Lodge with the notes C, E, G, E, C, which, if you know musical theory, is a C major chord, doing an emote after opening a supply drop in 3 different matches, and moving to the rhythm of the dance club east of Happy Hamlet behind the DJ booth with the Yonder outfit, which is unlocked at tier 47 of the Battle Pass. Speaking of which, similar to how Yonder is a ripoff of DJ Yonder from Season 6, and X-Lord is from Rust Lord in Season 3, among other recycled assets for money, since Epic is the greenest company out there, there are leaks pointing to new, old-fashioned skins like dark versions of Tomato Head, Red Knight, Wild Card, and even the default Jonesy skin, with an additional one called Dark Axe that's wearing the same threads as the Wild Card reimagining. Considering that we learned last week that there will be a leak challenge bundle that's a slight color palette swap of the Spider Knight that should be a freestyle and instead a V-Bucks requiring an entire new different skin, this cashing in on nostalgia isn't surprising for the minimal amount of effort with maximum profit that we come to expect. Lastly, in leaks, there is a balloon sticking out of a sewer in Pleasant Park that makes a creepy laughing sound when popped, which is an obvious hint at yet another crossover, but this time for It Chapter 2, which will be releasing this upcoming weekend, so another limited time event could be in the works as Epic continues to take Real Big Fish's advice to sell out. However, it's strange that they would have 2 tie-in events going concurrently if this one does start on Friday when the movie gets released. We'll all just have to wait until the weekend to see. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to about the weekend, not the no working part of it. Anyways, what do you think about the return of Kevin the Cube, and where do you think the next Rift Zones are going to be? Let me know down below in the comments section. I've been the Schwans27. Over like the Mets' chances of making the playoffs after blowing a 6-run fucking lead in the 9th inning last night. Until next time.